storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an excellent week so far and that you're getting a lot less snow than we had in the past couple of days. Thought it was spring, but no, apparently it is still winter going strong in Toronto. Yay, the joys of winter in Canada. So today I have for you a tutorial on the makeup look that I am wearing right now. I'm so in love with it. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's got a lot of different things going on. You've got the blue lips, of course. You've got the double liner. You've got the really glowy bronze skin. Together, I think they just look amazing. Of course, you could swap out the lip for something a little bit more wearable. I was thinking a red lip would look amazing, but of course, because the rest of the makeup is so neutral, any lip color I think would look fantastic with this. So please feel free to cut up and cannibalize this look however you want. If you want to skip the false lashes, if you want to do a different lip color, if you want to just do the glowy skin and none of the rest of it, make it work for you. If you do find anything useful or helpful or you like this, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And now, if you want to see me put all this on my face, just keep on watching because we're going to go back in time and watch me do that. Let's go. To start off with, I'm just going to pull my hair out of my face using a little metal headband that I got from Forever 21 just to make sure that there's nothing interfering with the makeup application. Now I'm going to spray my entire face with some Makeup Forever Mist and Fix because I want the skin for this look to be very, very dewy and glowy, and this is going to give a nice base for that. Now I was going to prime my face, however, I forgot. So if you have a primer, go ahead and do that. I'd suggest something hydrating or something with a little bit of radiance to it because again, we do want the skin for this look to be quite glowy. Now I'm going to be starting off with a cream contour, and I'm doing this first before my foundation because I want the contouring for this look to be very, very natural, even though I do want there to be some contour. So by putting it underneath my foundation, it's going to make sure that it's extremely blended and it's just going to sort of peek through the foundation, so our skin is going to keep that very, very glowy, very, very natural look, and it's not going to be too intense. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit in the shade Light. I started off with the color Java to contour with, however I thought it was a little bit too light, so instead I'm using Light Sculpt, and then I'm just blending that out with my Real Techniques blending sponge. Then for a little bit of color correcting and highlighting, I'm first taking the shade Neutral, which is the pinky highlighter shade from the kit, and I'm applying that underneath my eyes to help cancel out those purpley dark circles I've got going on. And then I'm taking the yellow shade Banana and using that to add some brightness around my eyes, nostrils, chin, and the center of my nose. And again, just blending that out with the same sponge. Now that we've got that contour skeleton in place, it's time to go in with some foundation over top. Today I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation, and I'm mixing the shades 0.5 and 2 together. I had shade 2 for summer, but my ideal shade in winter is shade 1, so I got a lighter shade to mix them together to get my perfect winter shade. I love this foundation, it is amazing, and I'm also mixing it today with the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer in shade 2, which is a very, very glowy product, which again is sticking to that glowy, dewy skin. This is actually my first time using the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer, and I really, really like it. It gives you a really soft glow, so you don't look sparkly or oily. It just gives your skin this beautiful sheen when you mix it with your foundation, so I'm really, really loving it so far. To blend that foundation out, I am going to stick with the Real Techniques sponge. Normally, I would not use a sponge or a beauty blender with the Urban Decay foundation because it is so thin that sponges tend to suck up a lot of the product. However, because I really wanted to make sure that my skin looked fresh and hydrated and not cakey at all, I am going to use this sponge and just use a little bit more foundation than I normally would to make sure that my skin looks flawless but also not cakey. For concealer, I'm going in with the Sephora Collection Smoothing and Brightening Concealer in the shade Light, which is 02. On me, this is a highlighting shade as well because I want this look to be very bright and very glowy. This concealer is perfect for that because not only is it a highlight shade on me, but it's also very lightweight, so it's still going to give some nice coverage without caking up or looking like it's too much. I'm just applying that under my eyes and also in the center areas of my face just to brighten up and make that the focal point. And then I'm going in with that Real Techniques sponge again and just blending everything out. Because because I was having a little trouble getting in underneath my eyebrow with that big sponge, I'm just using the Small Pro Contour Highlight Brush from Sephora collection number 80 just to blend out the concealer by my eyebrows without messing them up. Now, to set all of that concealer, I'm going in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and I'm using the shade Incandescent Light. So that's the middle one, and it's a very beautiful sort of highlighting setting powder. It's quite light, it has a little bit of shimmer to it, nothing super crazy, nothing to the extent of being an actual highlighter, but I love this for setting concealer underneath my eyes and anywhere where I want to highlight, because it is going to set it, because it's so finely milled. It's also going to give a nice glow, but because it's not too intense, it's not going to look oily or shiny or glittery. Then, because I messed up my eyebrow a little bit, I'm just going in and touching that up. For bronzer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade 20M. This bronzer is fantastic. It is a gel-based bronzer, which means it has a sort of gel infused with the powder. I don't know exactly how it works, all I know is that it's awesome. Because it is a gel, it's not going to look powdery, it's not going to sit on top of your skin, it's just going to blend into your skin really, really gorgeously and not leave any powdery finish. With that, I am buffing it in with the Makeup Forever brush number 136, which is the bronzer brush designed for this bronzer. It works really, really well, but you could use any other sort of flat top synthetic brush to get the same natural buffed in effect. To add some color to the face, I'm using the blush from the Naked Flushed Streak palette, and I'm taking that on my MAC 108 brush and just applying it to the apples of the cheeks and blending it out so it's nice and soft. This is just a soft peachy pink blush, so anything similar to this is going to work really well. Next up, I'm going in with highlighter, so I'm just going to spray my entire face with Makeup Forever Mist and Fix to amplify the highlight, and then I'm taking Becca Moonstone on the small contour brush from the Sephora Tools of the Trade brush set, and I'm applying that to my cheekbones as well as my upper lip and the tip of my nose for a super glow. Next up, it's time for the eyes, and of course I'm starting off with a base. I'm using my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original shade, and for eyeshadow, I'm sticking with Urban Decay using the Vice 3 palette, and I'm taking the light brown shade Undone on a fluffy crease brush. This is the Crease Shadow Brush number 73 from Sephora collection, and I'm starting off by buffing that into my crease and just marking off the shape of the eye. Then I'm taking the shade below that, which is called Downfall, which is a warm-toned light brown, and just deepening that up a little bit to make the crease a little bit more intense. For the lid, I'm taking the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Eyeshadow in the shade Endless Pearl and applying that to my eye using the pad of my finger. And then I'm going to go in with the Pro Shadow Brush number 14 from Sephora collection to blend that into the crease and make sure there is no harsh lines, just a soft gradient. Because the focus of this look is going to be the eyeliner, we're going to keep the eyeshadow very neutral and very light. To deepen up the outer corner of the eyeshadow a little bit, I'm taking the Artist Shadow from Makeup Forever in shade M630 on a MAC 219 pencil brush and placing it in that outer V of the eye. And of course, we don't want to leave that outer V sharp and jagged like that. We're going to blend that out. I took the flat shader brush first to get the blending started, and then I'm going back in with the fluffier brush just to make sure that it's very, very soft. Now to highlight, I'm going back in with the L'Oreal eyeshadow on that flat eyeshadow brush and just applying it to the under part of my brow as well as the inner quarter of my eye just to brighten those areas up. Now it is time for the star of the show. We're going to start on the eyeliner. Taking any liquid white liner, I'm using the ink liner from Kat Von D in the shade Neruda. We're going to make a wing shape. So you will probably have to go over the white a couple of times to get it as opaque as you want it to be. I probably did 3 coats of this to make it nice and truly white. But just go in and make a wing shape, and bear in mind we are going to be going back over with black, so make sure you make the wing thick enough that you can cover up about half of it. Now I actually skipped ahead and did the lips before adding the black because I was liking the way the white looked on its own so much that I didn't want to cover it up just yet. For the lips, I'm going in with a very, very cool product. It is called a lip hybrid. It is from the indie makeup brand houseofbeauty.co. I'll leave a link to their Instagram down below if you want to check them out. But essentially what a lip hybrid is it's sort of a cross between a lip gloss and a lipstick. The texture is really, really cool. Unless you try it, it's very hard to explain. But they're really, really pigmented. I'm showing you here. You only need to use a very, very small amount at a time. So I'm just slightly dipping in a lip brush, not taking too much at all, and then just working that in small sections across the lip. They have some really, really cool, unique colors. For example, this one is the shade Taboo, and as you can see, it's this gorgeous sapphire blue color, which is exactly what I wanted to use in this look because I was feeling like doing something a little bit different. Now it's time to finish up the liner, so take a black liquid liner. I'm using the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper, and draw a smaller wing on top of the white wing we drew before. You want to cover up about the bottom half of that white liner, but don't go up too high because you want to make sure that you can still see both colors and it doesn't turn into just a black wing. If you ever find that when you're using a felt tip liner, it gets a little bit dry while you're applying it, just press it against the back of your hand for a second or two to get that liner back up and flowing, and it'll make it a lot easier to apply. To finish off the lower lash line, I'm taking the shade Downfall from the Vice 3 palette and just lightly buffing it underneath the eye. And of course, curling the lashes, I'm using my Tarte eyelash curler. Use whatever curler you prefer, and just give your lashes a couple of nice squeezes to get them nice and curly. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. This is my first time trying it. I did really like it, although I found that it did smudge a little bit on my lower lash line. So in future, I might just use it for the top lashes and not for the bottom ones. But it gives some nice length and volume and is very, very black. So I did like it. The lips were looking a little bit unfinished to me, so I went in with a dark blue eyeshadow, the shade Heroine from the Vice 3 palette. I would have used a blue liner, but I don't have a blue lip liner, so eyeshadow had to make do. And I'm just applying that to the edges of my lips and the outer corners to darken them up, make them a little bit more precise, and just intensify the lips very, very slightly. To finish off the look, I'm going in with a pair of lashes. These are from Velour. They are called My Life's Complete, and I'm applying those with some clear duo eyelash glue and a lash applicator, and just sticking them on to give that final dramatic flirty appearance to the eye. So there you have it, guys. That is the completed look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Until next time, have a great week. See you later.